So a lot of changes, I think, for both teams. Paul and I were comparing the lineup when these two teams last faced each other, which was way back in September the 16th, and significant amount of changes for both teams. Although, Paul, the spine of both teams is still pretty much the same. With Rochester, with Apostolopoulos in the back, and Tosh and Garzi and Ugarte in the midfield, and Christian Volesky up front. So they're going to have some similar faces, but Bob Lilly's going to be working in some new guys.
Oh yeah, and he's got to. Obviously, they did so well last year too, Gino. I'm sure they lost 7 guys this year, I think, and they've gone elsewhere because they had such a great season. But Bob Lilly does a great job with his team, and he's going to have some good players out there too. So, and same with the Riverhounds. We've got 3 or 4 of the players from last year on the roster, and a lot of new faces that we've got to get familiarized with.
Yep. And we'll see also in the goal for Rochester's Adam Greenwich, who was the backup, but we saw him last year in September, and he started for the Rhinos at that point, and he's a very capable.
He was excellent, if I remember. He really helped Rochester keep the ball out of the net.
Gentlemen, let's run through the starting lineups for both teams, just so everybody at home knows who is on the field. For the Rhinos, in goal, you mentioned just a moment ago, it is Adam Greenwich. And then you got on the defensive line, Apostolopoulos, Farrell, Samuel, and Smith. In the midfield, it's Ugarte, Toch, Garzi, and Riley. And the forwards today for the Rhinos, Volesky and Forbes. And on the opposite side, for the Riverhounds, in goal, it is Hunter Gilstrap. You guys mentioned before, was here for about 4 years, I believe, with the Riverhounds. Right. Left for a year. Now he's back, starting in the goal for the Riverhounds. On the defensive back for them, it is Hunt, Morrell, Russell, and Campbell. And in the midfield, it's Lebo Maloto, Stephen Okai, Mike Green, Kevin Kerr, and Marshall Hollingsworth. And then the one forward is Zach Boggs.
Yeah, so the returnees for the Riverhounds are the familiar faces that Riverhounds fans are familiar with. Would be Willie Hunt, who returns again for his second year. Stephen Okai, and that must have been a relative of his singing the national anthem.
Absolutely.
And he and Mike Green are returning. And Mike Green, again, we see him moving around to different positions, Paul, but I think this year, as we see the ball long serve in, but the delivery's a little bit wide. Mike Green, we're going to see in a holding spot really in the midfield, which we saw him a little bit there last year, but he was the jack of all trades last year.
He played absolutely everywhere except goalkeeper, I think, and that was the difference. He was defense 1 minute, up front to the next, pushed into different spots when we had an injury. He's kind of a utility player, but Kevin Kerr's back, and that's what's important. I think he's the mainstay now that Robbie Vincent has left too, Gino.
Yeah, of course, and you mentioned Robbie, which was a huge loss for the Riverhounds, our first team All-League player, leading scorer, who has moved on to DC United, but we still have his partner Kevin Kerr, and then Kevin's going to captain the side this year. The other one who just passed that ball to Kevin, it's a great ball in there. To Zach Boggs is Lebo Maloto, who will be playing underneath Zach Boggs up front, and a little bit ahead of a more advanced role with Mike Green and Stephen Okai. And Lebo was a guy we saw really come on towards the end of last year.
Yeah, he had a kind of an up and down season. He started off really well, kind of disappeared for a while, Gino, and I think he was injured for a little bit too, and then he came back towards the end of the season and really came on strong, scoring some crucial goals for us too.
So we will see. I mean, you can tell right away it's going to be a contrast in styles. I mean, you can see the Rhinos were very direct to start right away. The Hounds will try to settle it down and use their midfielders, which especially with Kevin and Maloto, and the other guy on the left side, interesting one. That's one of our loanees from the Columbus Crew, Marshall Hollingsworth. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs.
And Paul Hollingsworth is a guy that really impressed you when we were in the box together watching them play the University of Michigan a few weeks back.
Yeah, you're right, Kevin. I said to you, I think you could just tell by his presence and when he was on the ball, what he was doing. He looked like he could be really dangerous, and now he's moved up into midfield.
Yeah, and I think then, Paul, I saw the Akron game, and you and I were talking, and I said, I like this guy over here, and he was the one player that you pointed out too. So obviously Mark Steffens has pushed him up a little bit higher, and they expect some production from him out there on that left-hand side.
It was funny, Paul, when they were playing that exhibition game against Michigan, Hollingsworth didn't come on until the second half as a reserve at that time, and you see what a difference a few weeks can make now into the starting lineup here at Game 1 of the 2016 season.
Yeah, definitely. He's got a rhythm and got used to the players around him, so he's really come on strong.
Riverhounds sporting those new blue jerseys that fade down into some lighter blue in the shorts and the socks there. Sharp-looking jerseys start the new year.
Rochester with a new strip that I don't think we've seen that one. They've had some different combinations over the years.
Green and white stripes usually everywhere.
Got some gold numbers on the back of white jerseys, which doesn't make it easy for us up here in the box.
No.
Riverhounds kind of trying to get a grip of the game, Gino, keeping some possession a little bit. Now we give it away, but I think we've got to try and do a lot of that this game with Rochester, keep the ball away from them and make it difficult and put them under pressure.
And there goes the first ball into the river for the new year.
Mark that down on your calendars.
Yeah.
Souvenir for a lucky fan. I wouldn't want to jump in after that one, though.
I saw a couple scuba divers in there. Riverhounds have them out there.
They're probably waiting for opening day at PNC Park down the river just a little bit.
But I think, Kevin, both teams are this early in the season, first match for both. Both teams are going to be a little bit cautious. They're not going to take a lot of risk out of the back and try to get a hold of things and set it to their particular tempo. Any goal at this stage would be very encouraging for either team.
Yeah, really would. We've been through this a lot of times, Gino, haven't we? When we've been the first game of the season, there's a lot of pressure, and there's a breakthrough right there, and a great goal. Look at that, straight from the back.
Yep.
First one of the season for us up here in the booth, and first one of the season for the Rochester Rhinos. One of the things that the Hounds did not want to do was get down early, and they do it pretty quickly to the Rhinos now.
I spoke too soon with getting that goal.
Getting that goal was important. You did say that. Yeah.
Really, that was way too easy, Paul. I mean, they slid that right through. I think it was maybe Morel or Campbell. They didn't slide over quickly enough on Volesky, and
I don't know if
we got a little toe poke or a chip over the head of Hunter Gilstrap. Hunter had no chance on that one.
No, and he had no choice but to come out because the defender had kind of like got his footing messed up, and again with the slick surface, the ball shot off underneath his foot, and the offensive player got out there and did a real good job when he got in front of the net there.
Hounds trying to answer. See Boggs trying to get a foot in on it. Can't quite do it. Keeping possession.
Yeah,
so I couldn't quite see myself over here from where we were who actually scored the goal.
It was Christian Volesky, I'm pretty sure, number 9, who got between Drew Russell and Sergio Campbell, and he snuck between them, and it was I didn't pick up the assist because, as you mentioned, Kevin, those numbers are a little bit tight, but
we're going to get to see it at least.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the goal by the Rhinos.
You're going to see a missed touch there.
What?
Kind of the ball took a skip over his foot, and then Hunter came out trying to close down the angle. Offensive player did a great job there, Gino, just getting a little chip over.
He did a little run, very quick release on that shot.
Exactly.
But we have to slide over a little bit quicker to pick that stuff up, and good assist also. I believe that was Trox, but I couldn't. Who slid that into Volesky, but I couldn't tell from the replay.
Campbell tries to serve one in. Now he's going to head it back into the zone.
Campbell, of course, one of the new additions to the side. Jamaican. He's played for the Jamaican youth teams. I think he's also been capped by the senior team.
He played for U20 and U17 for the Jamaican national team. Also a guy on loan from the Columbus Crew. That was one of the guys when we were here together, Paul, and Sergio Campbell, that playing in that exact spot he's in right here.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things that we noticed about him was his big body.
Yeah, really, he's a big lad, and it gets in the way of things and makes it very difficult for players. And it's going to be interesting to see how he develops. And now we can see right now, since that last game we saw, that last pre-season game, they've gelled a lot more. They've got some more chemistry. You can see the ball's moving better, and hopefully they can get back into this game and then get that feeling of confidence too.
Mark Steffens mentioned at the media day that he felt the last 2 weeks that they've gelled a lot more and things are starting to come together. And we know that takes a while. Preseason is often it's just, you know, players getting familiar with each other, trying to know each other's tendencies, and it does take a while. And that's again why and I'm sure Rochester's in a similar position. So both teams try to stay cautious, but this will make it tough for the Riverhounds because Rochester is tough to break down, more difficult to break down.
Saw that ball a moment ago from Farrell get deep into the final third. Gilstrap was able to snatch that one out of the air, though. Hounds being patient. Not a lot of goals scored between these two teams last season in 3 matchups, almost a year to the day. We were talking before we came on air. April 4th of last season, the Rhinos came in to Highmark Stadium and defeated the Hounds 2-1. And then on a June 25th matchup up in Rochester, the Rhinos took that one 1-0. And then on September 16th, they tied up here at Highmark Stadium 1-1. So in total, had about, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6 goals scored in 3 games between these two teams. So if this weather teaches us anything, it's that we're probably not going to see many of those tonight. We already have one on the board, though.
You never really know. It can go either or, you know. We've got to take, obviously, the Hounds have got to get themselves in some situations where we can take some shot on goal. I don't, you know, we've had one attack, I think, that we've had a shot on goal where the keeper came out and smothered it, but we just got to create more of those chances so we can test this goalkeeper too.
One thing I have, looking at the flags at the east end of the stadium, and things like the wind has died down a little bit, where it was really blowing pretty hard at the start of the game. So it's going to be one of those crazy spring days in Pittsburgh, I'm afraid.
We've had every bit of precipitation today. Had sunlight earlier, as we were talking about, then a lot of heavy rain just before kickoff here, and then even some snow mixed in as well. But now it looks like all of that inclement weather has died down a bit. See a fight in the corner. That was kept in.
Now it's gone for a throw-in for the Riverhounds.
Ugarte with Drew Russell. Drew Russell was able to shut down that cross from Marcus Ugarte.
It's off the leg of Volesky. Kept in by the Rhinos. And again by the Hounds near the touchline.
One of the things we've seen already, Paul, is Hollingsworth is on the right side. He started on the left, and Kevin Kerr, who started on the right, is on the left. And that's familiar pattern we saw a lot last year with Kevin and Robbie Vincent. They like to change spots and find different positions during the course of the game.
Yeah. Hopefully they're going to find out where the weakness is and create some opportunities, you know.
Good flick.
That's a good ball. That's the person.
So good opportunity for the Hounds. Almost got a run on it was Kerr. But diffused quickly by that stingy Rhino defense.
Yeah, they're not going to give much away. We've got to take advantage of any chances we get to make it work against Rochester.
Yeah, the one thing, as we had mentioned, that's a little bit different with Rochester, you know, 3 of their 4 midfielders do return, but they only have Apostolopoulos back from last year, and that back 4 last year was superb, and they had a few of those guys I know moved on to other clubs, other leagues, etc. So, you know, hopefully they're not going to be
as good as they usually are.
Stingy as always, but we know that again, that's one thing that Bob Willey's going to make sure his back 4 are working together as a unit.
Definitely, because that was his mainstay when he played. So
And this is a question for either of you guys, but how long does it take Bob Lilly to get those back four to develop the chemistry that they need to get to that level that they were last year? I know in the preseason he talked about how versatile all of his guys were and adaptable to different situations, whether it was game to game or even in game. And that's one of the things in a new soccer season with the turnover that you get in the USL. That's a difficult thing to establish. How long do you think it'll take him to get there?
I don't think it'll take him long because he's very, very good at it too. I mean, he's been in the league for quite a while. He knows what he's doing. He's done very, very well, and he seems to get his players really organized and adapted to the way he wants to play pretty quick, doesn't he, Gino?
Yeah, you're not going to see a lot of changes in the style or the system of play with Bob Lilly. They're going to be a 4-4-2. They're going to be in 2 blocks of 4. They're going to drop off. Those lines are going to stay very well connected, and they're always going to have a great shape throughout the team. I mean, it's just kind of, what's the personnel. I'm not sure how long Bob has been in preseason, if they've been there as long as the Hounds, but he'll work on that. And we said the spine of his team, particularly in the midfield, is there, but he is missing 2 really strong players in Abassi, who was their superb left back from last year, and Tony Walsh, who was in the center with Apostolopoulos. So they're missing those 2 guys are not with them. So it will be interesting to see how the other guys gel. But it's one of those things, Kevin, I think that you're always working with, and it takes a while for it to be where you want it to be.
Yeah.
You mentioned a couple of those guys that have departed from the Rhinos. A few other ones. Alex Dixon moved on to the Jacksonville Armada. Pat McMahon with FC Cincinnati, and Brandon Miller as well, the 2015 goalkeeper of the year, has also left.
Yeah, Brandon Miller had a heck of a year last year for them, but again, we got to see Adam Grinwis last year, and he was quite impressive. So I don't think there's going to be a huge drop off there.
Back and forth play in the middle third here.
Yeah, we don't. Either team are not really penetrating the offensive thirds of the field. We seem to be playing right down in the middle of the park at the moment, with high balls, losing possession, winning it back. Still kind of like going through the feeling process and getting an understanding of how the surface is and what's the wind doing, and making things work.
Looks like it's kicking up again, Paul.
Kerr plays this one. Stopped there quickly by the Rhinos. And here's Lebo.
Yeah. Just
trying to break through that back line.
Yeah, but you could see there they dropped off pretty well to intercept that pass, because he did have Zach Boggs on.
That's a nice ball in.
Yeah, and well cleared from Rochester.
And the Rhinos handle it. Diffuse the first real run by the Hounds in the first 18 minutes of this one.
But you can see when Rochester gets it in the back, they're not fooling. It's pretty direct. They're looking for Volesky and forwards, and they're trying to find Sean Riley on that right side. Oh, that was
dangerous play there from the Hounds. Let's get another one over the fence.
Nah, stopped by a railroad track. So.
Jordan Morrell fighting for it on the far touchline from us.
Tough touch from Willie Hunt, but good recovery from Camel.
Hunt gets a header on it.
Jordan Morrell's going to be an interesting one to watch. I think he's Ontario kid. I think came up through the Toronto FC Academy and had a stellar career at Syracuse, and Syracuse has been had a couple terrific years in the NCAA, so interesting to see how he does.
That's a well-won ball there.
So 2 consecutive headers, starting with Campbell up to Melodo. And the Rhinos handle it, play it deep in the zone, but no one's there. Gilstrap will take it. Boots this one to Kerr. Now Melodo handles. Okai. Far side to Morrell.
I don't think.
That was Hollingsworth trying to save
trying
it.
to get that one. That's a difficult one. And we have to do a little bit better with that, Paul. I mean, it has to be more of a diagonal ball and square all the way across the field.
Yeah.
Could have been a product of the wet field a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he just had his footing, when he tried to deliver that ball. There goes Russell forward.
And that's a tough collision. You see Russell grabs at his jaw.
Yeah, tough collision with
right in front of us.
Donnie Smith coming through. Touch there was a little bit too heavy. Got away from Drew Russell, and Smith was coming to close it down. And both went in hard.
Looked like an American football tackle here. Upended.
Yeah. And I don't know who got the worst of that one. I think they both.
Me neither. I don't think it was intent from either of them.
Smith was coming up very hard for Rochester, and
just kind of an awkward situation
Drew
they got
Russell.
into. That's a nice ball. That's a good
He
ball.
fires one into the box.
Kevin Kerr. And Paul, I think one of the things we're starting to see a little bit already, which is a staple of. We're talking about Bob Lilly, but one of the staples of Mark Steffen's team is to really spread things out and play wide in the channels. And I am sure one of the reasons Drew Russell is just outside back is because his ability to get up and down and has speed for that. And so we've seen him go forward a few times.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Mark wants to see him get up, and that allows the, and again, a nice little combination to find Kevin Kerr, who was able to clip that ball in. Inside, but it was cleared out by Rochester. And Moloto went down pretty hard on that one, I think.
And that was Forbes who got in on the tackle.
And you can see, Kerr as well, now he's switched again. He's back over here on the right side. I'd like to see him get a little bit more of the ball out wide, and get some of those bending balls and crosses in, which trying to hit some targets, but he hasn't had much opportunity just as yet.
Yeah, and Kevin is trying to find that chemistry with some of these new guys, which is that's going to be Kevin, you had mentioned the back four. That's going to be that's a lot easier to develop early than that chemistry coming through the midfield, and so Kevin is so used to, and he mentioned it the other day. He and Robbie Vincent a while, but once they got clicking, and
once they could
come together in that last year,
they read each other very well.
So he's gonna be looking for guys like Zach Bobbs and Hollingsworth, and when are they making their runs, and what's the timing of those runs?
Lebo Moloto finally back to his feet. He's going to get a set piece from the Hounds, first one of the game for either team.
That's a good strong delivery.
The box. Collision, and this one fired toward the goal, but stopped, and it goes over the net.
I think that was Apostolopoulos who either intentionally or unintentionally was able to clear that one out.
Somebody certainly got a piece of it.
him, or he was able to get it. But
I thought it was a header. I thought it was on target. I couldn't see the number.
I'm pretty sure that was on frame. Right. We got a corner coming up. Looks like Lebo Moloto will take that.
Let's take a look at the last try.
Yep.
Into the box first, then Okai tries, and it was headed. So here's the corner.
Back to Mike Green.
Mike, I thought he should have given that back to Moloto.
Yeah, to Moloto. He wanted it.
Yeah, really. He was in a great situation. He knew he was going to get closed down, just a little touch out wide, and then we could have created something else, but took a chance on getting it across and got it blocked.
Could have played it back to Hollingsworth as well, who was there at the point spot, but
it took a little too long to develop. The ball came out, and Rochester was able to close it, and Greeny didn't have much of a opportunity to play anybody.
You guys mentioned the Hounds probably wouldn't take too many offensive chances, just trying to feel things out, and you saw right there on that corner, instead of playing it into the box toward the net, they choose to play it back here.
Well, yeah, just trying to drop it back and maybe get a better angle with some guys running in to the far post. But I would say in weather like this, it's, you want everything you can in there.
Sure. Put it in the mixer.
Put it in the proverbial mixer.
Fight for it again in the midfield.
Again, you can see, it was Sean Touch just trying to loft that one over our back four. But
Yep.
Rochester, even in the midfield third, Paul, they're still just trying to get it behind and turn on our back four.
Yeah.
Here's Moloto on the ball.
That's Okai who delivers to Moloto. There you go.
Oh, there you go. They look so similar out there. Guys could be twins.
Stephen Okai got the orange boots on.
There you go. There's Donnie Smith, who got upended earlier. Looked like Volesky wanted a call there, but didn't get it.
Oh, jeez. Russell didn't know. Russell was looking upfield, thought the cam was going to play it, and it bounced off of Drew Russell.
And there's Lebo. Won't get confused that time.
Oh, that could be a good, if he can get to it.
Get to it. He
Well
does.
done.
Well done by Hollingsworth.
Hollingsworth tries to play it in. It's off a foot of a Rhino. And Grinwis picks it up.
I think he should have held it a little bit longer there. He needed more support. There was only one player in the middle and 3 defenders getting back as well.
Yeah.
He could have maybe took an extra touch and slowed it down just to give a couple more guys a chance to get up into the box.
Roll back. You can see the organization of the Rochester
Sure.
back four. They are all behind the ball, Paul.
Yeah, before.
But there's that little space. The way to beat that is maybe in front of them if they're
Sure.
off. But you know, he's trying to find Zach Boggs with the early ball, and can't blame him for that one.
No.
Throw in from Smith. Kept in. And that'll be off the shoulder, it looked like, of Ugarte. That'll be a throw in for the Hounds. There's Kevin Kerr, the new 2016 team captain for these Riverhounds.
I think Kevin caught that train there.
Tried to.
Almost sent that one to Ohio, wherever that train is going.
I don't think that ball that went over the fence earlier is faring too well right now on the train tracks over there. You get a rush from the Rhinos.
Ugarte got inside of Drew Russell, but a great recovery from Russell
To get a block on there, definitely, Gino. He did well to get back. Because
will be a corner for the Rhinos.
this is where they're usually dangerous too on these set pieces. They're really usually well worked and make it very, very difficult for opposing teams. They've got some big boys too up there.
Yeah, they're not as big, I don't think, as they were last year.
No, it's true.
But they still will be dangerous.
So this one played in by Forbes toward the net and batted out quickly.
Hunter's going to have
This one in the air again. And Gilstrap does a nice job of clearing that one out. Still dangerous. Everybody wants a headpiece on this one. And finally cleared out by the Hounds.
Yeah, that was a tough battle. They could not really clear that one, and Rochester kept it alive.
Bunch of 50-50 balls, and that's what you want in that area of the field. Anything can happen.
Yeah, especially with the wet weather and this ball being slick.
Gilstrap made a couple nice plays on the ball, able to defuse that rally from the Rhinos.
I'll tell you what, I've got to give the fans credit. They're sitting out here in this. It's pouring the rain out here, and they're in the stands and.
It's not a warm rain either.
No.
Certainly not with the way the wind has been all day.
Corner kick coming up for Rochester again. So
another corner for the Rhinos.
Definitely a great environment considering the weather, though. The fans definitely showed out for the Riverhounds. Everybody got a free scarf upon entry.
And
so a
need
souvenir.
Yeah, they're going to need it. So Rochester again, Apostolopoulos up inside the 6 box, running behind Gilstrap.
Forbes takes it, headed out by the Hounds, played back in.
Camel.
Gilstrap, and that just goes over his head and over the goal as well.
The Jamaican center back Sergio Campbell did well to clear that one.
Yeah.
Campbell using that big 6'3" frame. Listed at 6'3", but he looks a lot bigger running around out there. Got really wide shoulders.
There's a nice ball to Hollingsworth. And tough tackle as Lebo Moloto tried to beat him to that ball.
So throw in from the far side. Hollingsworth down in the corner. Tries to get it into Moloto. Here's a play to Kevin Kerr.
Garte does well to keep that alive for Rochester, but Forbes just knocks that into space.
Ugarte is a guy that's been pretty active for the Rhinos pretty early on here, gentlemen.
Yeah, he has, and you know, as has their midfield with Toch and Garzi. But they have played this left side an awful lot. Or Sean Riley on the right side really has seen very little of the ball. They try this side again.
Yeah, that ball.
Kept it in. Keep it alive for Volesky. To Forbes.
It's a good cross. Oh.
Rochester's timing that was not maybe a little too early, Paul, to get in the box.
Yeah, sure.
Now played up by the Hounds and into the stands, so
it's sloppy at the moment. It's kind of in and out, and Rochester's still spending a lot of time in the Hounds' end of the field and making it difficult for them to get out.
Ugarte and Kevin Kerr battling for it on the near line.
There's another tough one for Hunter to deal with. And
he's far out from the goal.
A little tough communication there with, I think, Willie Hunt, and Hunter Gilstrap had to go over Willie Hunt to box that one away. I'm sure Hunter would have preferred a clear path to that ball. Well, that one goes over the scoreboard.
Not quite into the river.
Not quite, but.
See Hollingsworth come out, poke that.
Yeah, it did
now
well.
Lebo.
Along with the Kevin Kerr, but again, those are the ones that Rochester can deal with.
Sure, those high floaty balls, you know, it gives them plenty of time to get in a better position to win the ball back, and as you could see there, get a big curve to the ball. So it's got to be more of a pinged pass, hasn't it? You know,
clearance there from Okai keeps it for Rochester.
Willie Hunt pokes that one out. That was a dangerous ball heading into the box. Here's another. Campbell heads it.
And Garzi, I think, kept that alive to Toch. Rochester's style has been not pretty, but effective, Paul.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they're just putting it in there and then winning a lot of the second balls.
Yeah, anything knocked back, knocked down, not quite accurate enough, they're stealing it. And look how they're putting pressure on the Hounds right now when they've got the ball.
So I think they are. The Riverhounds are going to have to try to get a hold of the ball, and they got to
keep possession a little bit.
They're going to have to start stringing some balls together, and really making Rochester chase a little bit to pull them out of positions. As long as the Riverhounds are playing direct and playing into their back four, that serves Rochester very well.
Oh yeah, it's easy for them. They just keep winning the high balls, and they got 3 defenders against 1 offensive player. It's
you can see their lines there very well. They're very, they're squeezing the field very well. Their lines are connected, and they're making it very difficult to find any real kind of space off the ball, and that's why the Hounds are going to have to try to settle down. We need Moloto, Mike Green, Stephen Okai, Kevin Kerr to really get the thing going a little bit more.
And Lebo's getting hassled in the midfield there.
And that's Sean Toch they're not going to let Lebo free. And that's a little bit better as Mike Green plays wide. But bad loss of possession there, but Rochester gives it right back.
Again, 105, Roger, enjoy your cookies.
Here's Campbell.
It's a bit of a,
I mean, that's a
bit of a wishful ball. That was.
very wishful ball.
I mean, it's not a player really wide open, and he's got 3 Rochester players within 10 or 15 yards of him.
And he has Mike Green right there. They could find him on the ground a little bit and try to play through the midfield a little bit. And as we see Willie do the exact thing we're talking about.
Trying to force it a little bit, Gino. That's what it is. He's trying to force it to.
And now we see Kevin coming way back, and trying to that ball, because I think he wants to take control of his game.
Sure. Well, we know he'll be everywhere. As you can see, he's on the left side now, he's on the right, and then he's in the middle. He's chasing back, defending as well. He just doesn't stop working.
No, there's no one on either team that's going to put in more miles tonight than Kevin Kerr.
So the Hounds down, 1-0 off a goal from the foot of Christian Volesky early on in this one. About 11 minutes in, he was able to put that one past Hunter Gilstrap, a lofted one over his head.
This was Greeny coming out, finds Drew Russell. Tough touch. Not much Green can do with that one.
While Adam Grinwis throws this one in, remind you to get into the game through the USL social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league. And keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL.
Kevin Kerr coming really deep now, Paul. I mean, again, trying to get it and trying to circulate the ball, which is exactly what we're saying I think they need to do. I think Kevin's sensing that a little bit. He's trying to come around and
make something
get
happen.
Going and really just get the ball moving a little bit and pick up the tempo. And now we've seen some better possessions, some better touches from the Riverhounds.
Yeah. And this is it.
This is our best couple minutes right here.
Yeah.
Just trying to string it, and that's what they need to do to get Rochester a little bit out of position. And there's that little ball back in front of the back four, but just not good enough to keep it together.
See Kerr on the left, where Hollingsworth was to start the game. Now Hollingsworth on the right.
Yeah.
Russell plays this one in.
That's a good
shot over the goal. Diving try from Grinwis, but it was over his head as well as the crossbar. Yeah. Kevin Kerr with a good try for the Hounds.
Yeah, that's what we've needed, and that's the first one we've seen tonight really connect. And that's, I mean, we've got a combination of 8-10 passes together before that happened, a kind of opening up that opening to get that cross in.
So Russell, you see the patience.
Yeah, great ball.
Serves that one in.
And that's Paul, we're saying they need to do, because that's the only way they have to get Rochester unbalanced a little bit and try to get them chasing the game. And they did that a little bit. And we see Drew Russell come up from the right back, and a terrific delivery to Kevin Kerr, who I'm sure
would like that back.
Shot of that one. Yeah.
And you saw Kevin Kerr immediately put the hands over the face, knew he missed a chance there. Nobody in front of him. That's when you got to be, if you're the captain, you got to put that one in and down one, right?
You hope so, but that's as again, the slick conditions, wet ball. You're trying to get into positions and get your body in the right position.
Yeah, it's just coming over defender. You're waiting for that thing to drop, and you can't wait too long. It's a tough one, and but I'm sure he'd like to have that one again.
Heck of a play from Russell to even get it in there. Served it over the top of every player on the field. Kevin Kerr just alone on that backside waiting for it.
But it was a great example of Paul, what you mentioned earlier. We see Kevin all over, and he was dropping very, very deep, almost next to Campbell, to Willie Hunt in the center back, to start circulating the ball a little bit more. And once we got a little bit of rhythm out of that, then he was able to push up to his outside midfield and almost got on the end of a good delivery by Drew Russell.
See Kevin fighting for it again. The Rhinos control. Play it deep. Gilstrap will take it.
Yeah, this has been a good 3 or 4 minutes for the Riverhounds, actually. I think the best part of the first half. They've really got some combinations together, kept possession a lot more, creating some space, getting some runs, and we've got to continue doing that to get back into this game, get a goal back.
Absolutely.
There's a bad giveaway there. Well back. Good defender.
Yeah, Jordan Morrell did very well to get back on that one.
Mentioned the new jerseys earlier in the broadcast, gentlemen, and Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow @Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information.
Nike is a proud partner of USL. Follow Nike Soccer on Twitter.
And on cue.
Right on cue.
Yeah, they put Nike Soccer.
I guess they were listening to me, right?
Nike Soccer on the board.
I got the magic up here.
Press the right button.
So good organization offensively in the last few minutes here for the Riverhounds. You see a lot of times the wrinkles just get worked out as you play the game.
Yep. Yeah, and it's good to see, because it gives them some confidence, and hopefully they can get a couple more chances at goal before the end of this half. We've only got like 3 or 4 minutes, but going into the locker room with 1-0 down, it would give them some motivation coming back out the second half if we could get some shots off and even maybe get one on target.
Yeah. But it has been the strongest of the half. They started to get together a little bit.
Sure. This last 5 minutes or so.
As we see.
Yeah, Rochester's been giving the ball away a lot more than normal.
Perhaps the Hounds just a little bit more active defensively.
Yeah, picked it up.
Communicating a little bit better.
Yeah, and Hounds are starting to challenge a little bit better for those second balls, which Rochester was winning almost all in the first 20 minutes.
Okai and Russell playing a little two-man game on the side.
Yeah, a lot of white shirts there.
Russell throw in to Mike Green. Russell again.
Sloppy ball there from Russell.
He gets it back though. Hollingsworth will challenge. And that kid has a motor like nobody else out there. Maybe only comparable to Kevin Kerr.
Yeah, really. I'd like to see him get a one-on-one here and get
which is
down the right side.
Which is perfect for the style play that Mark Steffens likes to play. Because you need 2 motors playing on his outside. Because as we said, they're given the freedom to move all over the place and find the right spots. That's going to be against.
And you can see they've switched again now. Hollingsworth has gone back to the left side and Kerr's ended up here. It seems like they've got to get an understanding and that when he sees that Kerr on this side of the field where he is, Bumpy's automatically going in once the opportunity arises. You get back into the other side
I'd like
of the
to
field.
see for the Hounds as we see this big serve in from Rochester.
Donnie Smith put a foot on it.
That's cleared away by Willie Hunt. But I'd like to see now Lebo Moloto with
get involved,
a little bit more of that mobility and get involved and get a little bit more off the ball to start challenging and stretching that Rochester back four.
Yeah, he's disappeared a little bit this last.
And the wind and the rain has really, really picked up. It's just
pounding. Yeah.
Awful conditions right now. There's no other way to describe it.
Certainly.
The wind is in. Rain's coming right across.
You can just see it's like a wall of moisture coming across the field.
Looking at the flag at the east end of the stadium, it's just really blown. That's a tough delivery.
Toward the box. Gilstrap dove for it. I don't know if he got a hand on it or not, but either way, it sailed over the goal.
He may have got a hand and it deflected off of somebody else. I'm not Not sure, but
I think he punched it off the Rochester player, punched it into the Rochester player.
Too, Paul. A tough one. You can see the wind blowing at Hunter's back.
Yeah, it's tough to say which way it's really going. It's kind of
looking there, so it's like
it's kind of
it's much worse for Rochester. It's in their face.
Yeah.
So the rain and the wind is coming right towards Rochester. So it's be a great time for the Hounds to get an equalizer.
There's an opportunity.
Here's a run for Boggs, and he gets taken down from behind, trips. A try there from Maloto. He tries again, and it's blocked. This one high in the air into the wind and rain.
They can't even clear it. It's coming so hard.
Poked out. Okai puts it back in the zone. Another try. And that was Russell, it looked like.
Boy, the Hounds.
Great opportunities the Hounds had to take care of. As we said, this is the time right now with the weather the way it is.
Yeah, we've got to take it. That's some great effort by the Hounds there.
Yeah,
putting some pressure.
We're only looking at
There will be 1 minute of added stoppage
1 minute at a time for this.
1 minute.
So it's a great opportunity for the Hounds to go in level.
So here's a corner from the Hounds. And knocked out quickly off the shoulder of a Rhino. And Riverhounds fans, here's something to kick around, a car buying experience. That's what makes every customer a winner. Number 1 Cochran's clearly better car buying. Discover it all now at number 1.
Change for the Riverhounds, and that's Corey Horzog. The ex-Penn Stater has replaced Zach Boggs up top, I believe. So I will take a look for Rochester, see if they have any changes. But the weather is difficult, and it's going to be, and we can still see the rain coming, but in sheets it's picked up again, Paul. It looked like it died down a little bit, and as soon as
they came back out,
it started where it picked up where it left off at the end of the first half. This is similar to the game in Rochester last year. Remember that monsoon?
Yeah, but that was like playing in a swimming pool.
Yeah, it was.
It was water everywhere. Half of the field was totally covered in water. We were shocked that they didn't call that game, actually, weren't we, Gino?
Really, it was because there was so much standing water. It was almost unsafe.
They couldn't get the ball out of it to pass passes.
Here's Russell taking it away from Ugarte, and that's Boggs on the right side for the Hounds.
Okay, then he
clears out, so he just moves back. Campbell gets on the ball deep into the corner, doesn't touch it.
Looks like Maloto is out then for the Hounds. So Boggs has moved out to the right. Kevin Kerr has dropped into the middle in that attacking midfield position. And Corey Horzog has gone up top. So maybe more attacking options, a little bit more direct. I think Mark Steffens wants to see a little more activity in the center of the field, Paul. It's sort of what we had mentioned before, like Lebo kind of disappeared for some stretches.
It just definitely disappeared for like 20 minutes of the first half of the game. And we didn't see much of him, so I guess that's what the reason is, Gino, but I don't think he got injured or anything. We didn't see him get hurt.
Well, just to speculate, I was just going to say, and we don't know, of course, we're just speculating about this, but remember when he was tackled on the far end over there, was on the ground for a good few minutes, so maybe some issue with his lower leg right there, that maybe that's why he ended up disappearing for a bit.
No, that's a great point, Kevin, and because it was right after that he really slowed down. And,
that's exactly right.
We didn't see him around the ball or making much happening, so we know for a fact it won't be easy to. It won't be difficult to understand why Kevin is in there, because he'll be buzzing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And with the weather the way it is now, you don't want to take any chances with a guy like Lebo, who provides some continuity for you on the offensive end, has definitely the ability to score at pretty much at will. I mean, the guy can create a lot with the ball. You don't want to risk it with the weather the way it is. One slip could ruin your whole season.
Yeah, for sure.
It's only game 1 after all.
Yeah, quite a few to go.
I do not see any changes for Rochester. The back four seems intact, as well as their midfield. But again, a little difficult to see with the gold numbers.
Yeah.
That's Campbell with it for the Hounds. Took it away from Volesky. Plays it back to Hunt, and he'll play it back to Gilstrap.
Well done from Hunter, and that was pretty close.
Yeah, I think Willie Hunt didn't give him a very good pass back. I think he got kind of slowed up in the water on that field in front of that goal. That's a great ball. Oh, you've got to get on the end of that.
But that was a great build-up too, Paul. You know, Hunter played it out here to Willie Hunt, who
Switched
had that nice ball in the center to Stephen Akai, who went wide with that ball.
And you saw Kerr play the ball up the side as well, which kind of started the whole thing. Excuse me, that was Boggs actually. Kerr's in the middle.
Boggs, and that's Drew.
That's a great ball. Got to get.
Corey Orsog.
Just got to get over the top of it.
Yeah.
You just try and keep it down, and hopefully can redirect it on the goal, but didn't happen. So hopefully we'll see.
And Herzog is.
There we go.
That's a trip. Yeah.
Oh, good situation. Oh, offside is referee's giving.
But we're seeing from Corey Herzog what he is known for. I mean, very direct player. I mean, tremendous work rate.
Yeah.
Very direct. Likes to stretch defenses right away. This is why he was one of the top scorers in the country at Penn State. I think, if not the top scorer in the country.
He was. He led Division I in scoring during his junior season at Penn State. Then, of course, was drafted to the Red Bulls in 2011. Right after that.
And since then, you know, we saw him a few years ago in the USL with Wilmington, with the Wilmington Hammerheads. I think he was on loan. And I know the Hounds, we've been trying to get him for a while. So it's
that's a nice.
good to see.
Oh, that's a great ball.
Yeah.
And here's Herzog. He fires toward the net, and it's stopped. Stopped there by Greenwis. Dove in front of it, laid out. Was able to spell that run.
Well, he's had an impact right away. There's no question about it. There's a foul.
Hounds putting some pressure on now, Gino.
Well, that little combination change has really livened them up a little bit, even though they're, you know, again going against the wind.
This is a good one. If we can see this again, as you're going to see, I think great ball by Kevin out wide. Great cut in and nice little touch. I thought he could have shot that with his left foot first time there, but he took an extra touch inside.
Just maybe a little too heavy with that first touch, but we'll see here. It looks like, you know.
Yeah, you don't get too many chances. You want to.
Here's Kevin Kerr's delivery.
So here's Kerr, puts it into the box. Put toward the net again and booted out by the Rhinos.
Yeah, didn't get much power on that at all. It kind of drove it into the ground and just hit the defender in the chest.
I was looking really coming up flying here in this first 5 minutes of the second half.
This one put into the
corner kick coming up. That's good. No,
it's on the 6th.
But regardless, guys, you know, you miss the chance there from Herzog. He doesn't take the shot with the left foot, as you said there, Paul. But even before that, the build-up, the combination of Kerr and Hollingsworth, you see the two of them, the way those guys are able to play off each other. And this time, we've seen them go on opposite sides of the field. This time on this build-up, they're on the same side of the field, and they set Herzog up with a beautiful shot.
Yep.
Well, one of the things we see right away with Kevin Kerr also is he's looking forward. He's looking to penetrate. He's looking to get by defenses. He's not going to play safe. He's going to try to beat some people up front. So it has had an impact immediately in the second half.
So now this one's put into the Hound zone. Kerr puts this one ahead. Hollingsworth chasing. Tries to get there, can't quite do it. Comes up from behind and taken away by Greenwis. Gets into the play, came out of the goal, got there just in time. Hollingsworth was pesky, sticking around the ball, but Greenwis clears it out.
A little hesitation there with Joe Farrow and Greenwis over who was going to pick that one up.
Deep boot from Greenwis, all the way in the air. Has the wind at his back a little bit, and that might have helped.
I think the wind is having a big factor here because I've seen some balls over the top here, and you think the keeper's going to come and win them, and they kind of hold up, and then they stop again. Same up this end. It's kind of really they're having a tough time.
I think that might be a reason, like with that last little mix-up.
Yeah, sure, because they didn't come as far as they thought it was.
So you had a foul over here on the near side by Jordan Morrell.
Yeah.
We'll get a little bit of a set piece. And it's Canardo Forbes that is on the ball.
Weather's kind of calmed down a little bit too right now. It seems like
still windy though, Paul.
Yeah.
See the flags blowing.
Yeah, anything up in the air.
Here's Forbes into the box, headed out by the Hounds. And a second fire way over the top of the goal. Into the crazies down there in the end zone, as you called them before, Paul. Those guys down there in those stands did not leave at all during the halftime period. They stuck right where they were at.
They're loyal, dedicated fans. They're not going to go anywhere. They're going to... Just to turn up tonight was pretty good, and there's a big bunch of them too.
All the way throughout Highmark Stadium. Plenty of fans coming out. College night. Do want to remind everybody at home to get into the game through the USL's social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league. Also, you can keep up to date with the USL all season long. It's only game one, but all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL. So, gentlemen, about 10 minutes into this second half here, what have you been seeing out of both teams?
Well, definitely, I think the Hounds have picked it up. They came out kind of like the way they went in from the first half. You know, the last 10 minutes, they've really had some opportunities, which is good to see early on in the second half. And they're putting some pressure on Rochester, which they need to do.
I think they're demonstrating a lot more patience than they did that first 20, 25 minutes, Paul. And
yeah, getting
by keeping the ball. And again, if you're gonna beat Rochester, you have to be patient because, as we talked about,
Russell puts it toward the net. It just scoots by. But a nice ball from Drew Russell on the far side corner into Kevin Kerr. That's the second shot he's had from point-blank range. Couldn't quite get it to where he wanted to be, though.
And Drew Russell has been very effective flying up that right flank.
Yeah, really. Yeah, he was very unlucky there.
Take another look, gentlemen. So here's the ball from Russell.
Yeah, a little bit of deflection, yeah. And Kerr, wow.
It's a shame he couldn't quite read it. Hit the ground and shot off the ground. And who was that I'm trying to see?
I think it was Herzog. So, but again, all that's coming from the fact that the Hounds have been patient with their midfield build-up. They're able to swing it through, find, in that case, Drew Russell, who found Kevin Kerr, and his header just goes a little bit wide, and we couldn't get on the end of his header. And I mean, Kevin, if you're not going to get that on goal, and he was a little bit wide of the goal, you want to put that across where somebody can get on the second ball.
Definitely.
There's Forbes getting through.
It's Conardo Forbes with it, dumps it off, fired toward the goal.
Mike Green took that one hard at the chest.
Good block there, Mike Green. That could have been dangerous if it had got past him, because that was looking like it was right on target.
Kevin closed that one down, and he did well.
So now the Rhinos will get a corner.
He's feeling that one in this cold weather.
Conardo Forbes had it originally on the run, and he's going to come and take the corner for the Rhinos. Puts this one in. A header towards the net, no good.
Looking, you know.
That was looked like a real set play there, Gino. This player come to the near post. Nobody went with him.
Joe Farrell's there. No one's picking up. The Hans zoning in the 6, Paul, there. So they're not, if you see, we have the 3 guys zoning.
And they can't see him running through.
In the 6, and he's running through, and we're not picking up, and they've gone through him every time.
So a second corner.
And they've gone through. So, you know, it looks like he's trying to get a flick or something on behind.
So that's Joe Farrell that they keep putting at that near post.
Yep. And he's a big boy, too. He's up there. It looks like he's about 6'4", something like that.
Interesting, they went with the same set 2 times in a row. Seemed like the Hounds had that one sniffed out a little bit, though. They shaded their back line toward the near post on the second attempt.
Oops.
And this will be turned over to the River Hounds. Or excuse me, it's Rhino ball. They throw in from the near side. Willie Hunt puts a foot on it. Mike Green. And it's taken away by the Rhinos toward the goal. Gilstrap puts a hand on it. Beautiful save from Gilstrap. Skies up and just gets a hand on it to push it over the crossbar.
Yeah, Sean Trotch had a good look at that one, and Hunter did very, very well, because that ball was dipping over his outside shoulder.
That was really coming down quick.
Yeah, and he was able to tip that one over.
He really hit that well there on the move. He really got over the top of it, and he kind of dipped. And Hunter did really well there.
Very, very well.
Rochester kind of getting back into the game again now, Gino, in the last 2 or 3 minutes, and putting some pressure back on the Riverhounds.
A nice little combination of that, and again, it looks like they're
The near post.
So here's the corner from Forbes. Campbell was in on the play, as well as Volesky.
Oops.
Forbes comes in from the corner, tries to play it back into the box, but inadvertent kick goes into the stands, and Gilstrap will kick it out for the Riverhounds.
But the wind, looks like the rain has dropped off, but the wind is still going. Still going to be at the back of the Rhinos. So I'm sure they will try to use that to their advantage.
See the effect of the wind on Gilstrap's goal kick here. Keeps it low and out of the wind. Gets it to midfield. That's Drew Russell keeping it in.
Okay, here's what he's going to do real quick.
Play it in. Willie Hunt gets ahead on it. Here's Forbes fighting.
Oh, not a very good clearance there. Rochester putting some pressure back on again.
Could be the wetness of the ball. Morrell seemed like his foot just slipped off the side of it. Forbes gets in, battling with Morrell. Forbes again pushing. Campbell with him, step for step.
Oh, nice little cut back to Troch.
Gets it into Touch.
Green doing well there, blocking again.
So that's Mike Green that slipped in front of that one.
Quick throw in. Back in the box, and now Riverhounds breaking out. Oops.
And a misplay from Drew Russell. Throw in quickly from the Rhinos. So that's a situation there, guys, where Okai gets the ball middle of the field. Seemed like he had some space to work with, but pulled it back and tried to push it up the right side instead. Had a lot of green in front of him.
You can see that ball hold up, Paul.
Yeah.
Okai hit.
So here's Okai, and he's going to play it back to Gilstrap.
And Kevin, that might have has something to do with where his positioning is, because he's starting to go, and then he thinks, I'm supposed to be defensive minded, so he wants to get it to somebody else and kind of like ease up in case it breaks down.
Morrell's taken down on the near side by Sean Riley. Kevin Kerr bursting through 3 Rhinos up the left side, mishandles it. And looked like, was that Forbes again, able to put a left foot on it.
Yeah. A lot of white shirts to go through there.
Yeah.
That was not Forbes, excuse me, that was Dom Samuel. So here's the throw in from Morrell.
Boy, that's a long throw.
Puts it in for Herzog, and he gets tripped up.
Oh, and a yellow card, but for number 6.
Apostolopoulos looked like number 5 put a leg on Herzog. And we'll take another look as the yellow card's handed out. So here's Herzog trying to make a play and tripped up there by Apostolopoulos.
Corey Herzog has just been a real handful for the Rhinos right now. They're struggling to keep up with his pace and you know, his physicality.
Now this is a situation we'd usually see Robbie Vincent taking the free kick and Kerr getting on the end of it.
Right.
I wonder who's the player that's going to try and get on the end of this one.
Oh, that's a great ball!
Foot toward the net.
No.
Once again, Grinwis, you guys keep mentioning how great he was last year against this Riverhounds team, making his presence felt again. Another diving save, able to put that off of his glove and across the end line.
No, that's a terrific save, because it was a superb delivery from Kevin Kerr. That in-swing ball is really tough. Goalkeepers can't get it, and you just want to get on the end of things.
Just get a redirection, like, look, just a little flick.
Yep. And I think it was Willie Hunt that got ahead on it, Paul.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Corey Herzog as we take another look at it. Both of them were there. I think it was Corey.
Yeah.
And
Herzog
he got over the top of the ball too.
Grinwis got down very, very well to get that, because those are tough balls to deal with.
Shot was on target. Grinwis, absolutely amazing save, one-handed nonetheless. Just able to flick it out. Here's a run.
Oops.
Taken down from behind. You're exactly right there, Gene. And another card handed out by the officials. This one to Ugarte.
A yellow card has been issued. The Rhinos number 2, Marcos Ugarte.
Looks like we're going to get a change here with Parks coming on.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'll be curious. 'Cause Parks is up top. Are we going to go 2 up top? What's going to?
It's 60 minutes into the game. It gives you an opportunity. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Zach Boggs coming out.
So now Boggs comes out in favor of Romeo Parks, number 27. He'll enter the contest.
In for number 9, Zach Boggs.
I thought Boggs was getting some chances too, though. So
I like that. Yeah, combination.
So here's Campbell.
They're going to put Corey out wide and put Parks, because Parks normally is up top. Or they go with both of them. We'll see.
And this throw-in goes over the head of Parks and Kerr. This one's cleared out. There's Campbell cleaning it up for the Hounds. Tries to get it to Green. Couldn't get a foot on it. Rhinos coming the other way. That's Toch. Feeds it off.
I thought it was a free kick against Green, and the referee let it play on because Rochester got it, but obviously called it back once the Hounds got possession.
Yeah, it looks like Romeo Parks is out here on the left side, so he's going to go to an outside midfield spot. Hollingsworth is on the right side. I don't know that they probably will switch that around as the half wears on, but Corey Herzog is going to stay up as a lone striker with Kevin Kerr underneath him.
There's Russell and Green for the Hounds on the ball.
And neither one coming out with it.
Offside. No,
taken there. This is Ugarte. Puts it over close to the box. Over everybody.
That was a good ball back across, back from the end line. You'd usually get somebody coming in, trailing, and get on the end of that.
Parks could not handle that one.
No.
Puts it in. And stopped by Campbell on the back line defense for the Hounds.
Yeah, well done, but Campbell tracked Volesky across the goal.
Volesky looks a little bit banged up. Slow to get up, limping around. He'll walk it off. Already has a goal today, the only one of the contest. We near 66 minutes here at Highmark Stadium.
The wind, you can see the wind really blowing.
Here's the corner from the Rhinos put in, and Campbell gets ahead on it. Then Okai clears it out. Beautiful defensive play from Okai and Campbell, the combination to clear that out of the box. And now Gilstrap cleans it up for the Riverhounds, takes possession back. See, Morrell plays it off his head. You see it off his face immediately there. Knew he misplayed it.
Yeah, I think the wind was a factor again there,
Sailed on him a bit.
Yeah. Trying to judge where it's going to end up or where you can get.
Willie Hunt in pursuit. Lets it roll across the end line. So it'll be a goal kick from Gilstrap.
I think the Hunts are doing very well. Playing against the wind by keeping it down on the table, and trying to build out of the back and find some spaces, and again have Rochester chase things a little bit. But I think the switch from Mark Steffens by bringing Kevin Kerr and putting him in the middle with Corey Herzog has upset the
rhythm,
the shape of Rochester a little bit, because there's so much activity in there. They're having difficulty with that.
Fight through the midfield. Here's Ugarte.
Oh, that's a nice cross.
Plays it in, but Mike Green clears it out. That'll be a throw-in for the Rhinos. Riverhounds fans, here's something to kick around, a car buying experience that makes every customer a winner. Number 1 Cochran's clearly better car buying. Discover it now, all at Number 1 Cochran locations or Cochran.com.
Too many touches on the ball there. He had the defender going all kinds of different ways and never got the crossing.
So the Rhinos trying to organize a good offensive possession and not done well. Right there, that was Sean Riley who put it in.
Yeah, he gave that ball away. There's no one really there. Was able to close it down to at least force a goal kick from Hunter Gilstrap.
Saw a ghost at the 18-yard line wearing those white jerseys. So here's Gilstrap. Reverses it to Willie Hunt. Green in the middle.
You don't want to get caught there. The ball, 3 of them around.
Yeah, we got Rochester gave us a break by fouling Green.
Yeah.
Here's Kerr. Over to Hunt. And Morrell. First time we call Park's name. Romeo plays it to Kerr. Riverhounds trying to be methodical.
Again, not in too much of a rush. You keep a possession of it. That's okay.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think we can afford to be patient right now.
You just give it away again there.
Yeah, you don't want to give it away there.
Almost did, but it didn't happen. Played forward now to Parks and Morrell. Morrell puts it forward, trying to get Parks on a run. But it stopped there and cleared out.
Farrell cleans that up.
Continue the game to USL social media channels. Follow USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league.
Mike Green puts it in. On a run was Herzog, but couldn't quite get there. So 2 balls in a row you see are put just a little bit out of the reach of the running Hounds.
Sure. That was a tough ball for anybody to handle, though, because he was kind of winding away. I thought Green should have switched play and gone right to the far right side.
You could see right away when he made that decision, he wasn't happy with it and wasn't too, he knew he made the wrong choice.
But you can tell the Hounds trying to slow the game down a little bit for themselves on the offensive end.
Offside?
Is now
he
free
was,
in the front.
Boy, that guy was offside by 3 yards.
I know. And I don't think this the assistant. I'm not sure if he wasn't even looking there. I mean,
no,
it's hard to.
I mean, that was a good 3 or 4 yards. That player was offside before the ball was kicked, so they got away with one there, and the Hounds did, because he didn't score on it.
Absolutely, and Volesky, you saw similar to the reaction of Kevin Kerr earlier, putting his hands over his face, takes his whole jersey and hides his face.
Yeah.
Knows that was one he probably should have had. It was him one-on-one with Hunter Gilstrap, and he couldn't capitalize on it. Ball don't lie in that case.
No.
Oh, well done from Willie Hunt.
Good tackle.
See Hollingsworth coming from behind.
Seeing Mike Green see a lot of it this half, Paul. And doing a good job connecting with the 2 center backs and trying to find it. Stephen Akai's pushed up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Green is staying a little bit deeper. I think he's done well, but a couple times maybe just
holding on to it a little bit.
Yeah, a little too long.
Oh, I thought he was going to catch that.
Look at Hollingsworth. When he decides to run, that boy can run.
Yeah, he can fly.
Has that extra gear. Tried to get it, but couldn't save it from the touchline, so it results in a throw-in for the Rhinos. There's Hunt on it. Excuse me, Kerr. Taken away by Rochester in the midfield.
Sean Riley came away from the right side.
And Drew Russell takes it away.
Ooh.
That was a quick throw-in by Rochester. The Hound's not really ready for this, and the guy's going down the left wing.
Here's Ugarte, gets a run, but Willie Hunt able to clear it out. Now the Hounds kind of reset in the middle of the field. See Parks.
That's a good switch. A little bit further.
Yeah. Hit that too deep, didn't he? A little bit better of an angle. He's going to find Kevin Kerr out wide over there.
Hounds will get another crack at it.
That's good for Mike Green. Just he comes to get it, gets the ball moving, keeps it moving through the midfield.
Now we're going backwards again, though.
Yeah.
Played back to Gilstrap, puts it up to Morrell. So over the past 10 minutes or so, once again, we're seeing the Hounds being methodical offensively, taking their time, being patient.
Yeah.
But it's getting a little bit tight, and they have to have a little bit more urgency.
Yeah.
That Rhino defense is just swarming. Here's Morrell.
Oh, that could be in.
Deep and over top of the crossbar. Looked like it might have snuck in. Past Adam Greenwis, who's played an amazing game in net for the Rhinos. It just sailed a little bit on him and over the crossbar. We'll take another look.
Make a change.
That was a great opportunity because you never know what the wind's going to do to it. And he obviously had the keeper wondering, kind of looked like it was way over and then started dipping really quick.
Hounds have substituted with brought on Alex Hartley for Morrell. And it appears maybe, we'll see how they're going to, but Hartley is pushed into the midfield, or up front, pardon me. And it looks like Hollingsworth has come to the left back.
That's where the ball will be played in from Gilstrap. Mike Green puts it up.
We still have Green and Akai in the center mid. Hartley has gone. He and Kevin Kerr are also in the midfield. I think Kevin's still in the center, but Hartley has played he's playing very narrow right now, so I'm not sure if he's going the outside back or not. But I would expect we're going to see Hollingsworth really flying from that left side.
Yeah, really. Yeah, because he's pretty good from the defensive, from a fullback position. He's got the speed for sure. You know, if he can get the opportunities, I'm sure he's going to get down there and get some crosses in.
This one played in by the Rhinos, but too much on it, and it skips across the wet turf. It's a good time to remind the fans that Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information.
That's a better. Again, Gino, keeping the ball down low from the goal kick, it makes sense because you're knocking it out wide and trying to build it up. But got to show for this ball if some of the Hounds here for these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Campbell. Look, he had all that space, and he pops it back to Willie Green and see what he's doing.
Sure.
Take that space a little bit. Look, and he's squared up here.
Yeah, I can't see him.
And he has some space to go forward with it. And so Rochester's going to say thank you very much. Now let's see if he takes his space.
Yeah.
Plays it up to Parks. And Okai back to Hollingsworth.
Well done from Hollingsworth to get out of there.
He read that. Now switch it.
Very well, yeah.
Keep it going. No, he should have gone out wide right.
Yeah. It's Hartley was.
Yeah, Drew Russell was over there.
Out there.
Yeah, wide open.
You see Campbell kind of waiting for somebody
to move, but
ball.
Yeah, they're not really doing some overlapping runs or crossovers. They're kind of like just standing like easy to mark, and that's where you got to have some movement.
Certainly playing a possession game right now.
And this is what we want to see from Hollingsworth for sure. Green just got caught with it.
Back to Hollingsworth.
And he's back.
Played into Parks. He's got it near the touch line. Plays it in. There's Okai. Gets a chest on it.
Russell's wide. Green finds him.
And there's Hartley.
Hartley comes in well.
He's got some space. Feeds it in. There's Kevin Kerr. Tries to shoot, and it's dispelled.
Good look from Hartley. Hartley from Togo in Africa. And
cleared out by the Rhinos.
Atlanta Silverbacks. So
again,
another new addition.
Yep.
Gentlemen, the Hounds get a rush there, and they get some space in a good spot. Harley not able to do too much with it. Kerr once again in front of that net for the 3rd time today, but it was just blocked by that sound defensive back line.
Yeah, really, they make it difficult. If you got to get a shot off, you got to get it off quick when you get a split second.
Rochester very, very happy to sit where they're at and keep those lines. You know, their back line is not going too high. It stays about the 35-yard line. Their midfield 4 is about 10 yards from that.
Yeah, they're not going to commit themselves, are they?
They're going to press a little bit with Volesky
and there's a one-on-one.
That's Ugarte
there, but well done with Campbell and Drew Russell.
Drew Russell has made some nice plays on the ball today. He's since moved back since the start of this one. You got Campbell running this one down, and he'll let it go. Gilstrap quickly wants to get this goal kick out. So, guys, you got about 10 minutes left if you're the Riverhounds to try and get a score. You've seen them be patient with it, but now is probably not the time to be doing that.
No,
now, as we said, they have to start showing some urgency. They're certainly pushing people forward. They have, you know, Hartley is up high with Corey Herzog. Kevin Kerr, of course, is pushing high, and I think we're going to see a lot more from Drew Russell and Marshall Hollingsworth pushing from those flanks.
And I'm sure, you know, Mark is going to be on their cases now to get urging them to get going forward a little bit more and getting the ball into the box a little bit so we can get some opportunities. But again, we've got to be careful we don't get caught on a counter-attack.
Yeah. Samuel came up well, stepped up well with that one.
That's Forbes and Samuel. Now Riley. Everybody seems to be poking at it. Harley loses it.
It's not what we want him doing there. That's part of the field.
Ugarte and Campbell on the far side. This one put toward the box, over the head of Gilstrap and over everybody. Goes across the end line. Another goal kick coming for Hunter Gilstrap. Gilstrap won goalkeeper of the year in 2010. Played his college ball at Clemson and the College of Charleston. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast, was with the Riverhounds for 4 years, starting in 2010. Left for a season, and now he's back. He's starting in net, and he's played fairly well tonight, gentlemen.
Hunter's a solid goalkeeper. It's USL Keeper of the Year a few years ago, so it's great to see him back. A very, very dependable goalkeeper. You can always count on him. He's solid. And has great command of his backs. Knows the game extremely well. Keeps him well organized.
He's done a nice job since the Hounds have switched to keep all of his goal kicks down and out of the wind. You guys keep emphasizing that.
As we see, Bob Lilly made his first change there.
Yeah. He's probably going into a real defensive mode.
Drew Ruggles is on. He's gone on for Forbes, I believe.
Campbell, Hunt, and Hollingsworth trying to start a rush.
That's Isaiah Schaefer. Sorry about that. Isaiah Schaefer on.
This played just a little too deep. Toch and Green.
Oh, that's a 12. Sorry about that. I'll get this name, Paul.
Sometime before the end.
Sonny Samuels. There we go.
Here's a chance for Rochester. What a great ball there, and he's back up on his.
Oh, well done, Green.
And Gilstrap made sure it didn't get in there by diving and knocking it out. Green had the first defense of it.
Yeah, it looks like it's a corner kick, and you can see Rochester's in no rush to take it. Obviously, eating up the time on the clock, which any team would do.
You done that a time or two yourself?
You bet.
So a corner from the far side for the Rhinos. Played in toward the near post again. Found. And Volesky tries to get there, can't do it, and Gilstrap comes up with it somehow. Seemed like everybody was watching it down there, bouncing around in the zone.
And
boy, we were lucky there because
it just opened up.
Yeah, there was
Rochester, and they just couldn't
put it away because
get off their feet. Yeah,
two guys are just standing looking at each other. You taking it? Am I taking it? And then kind of like messed up, and then Hunter got in there and got the ball. That was really a wacky one.
Okai plays this one back as we're going to take another look at the corner.
Here's the corner. You can see that goes over Drew Russell's head.
And everybody.
That's Volesky there.
Yeah.
Oh, went over the top of the ball.
Apostolopoulos, I think, just couldn't.
Yeah.
Apostolopoulos could not get it.
Foot just scathed the top of
Over
it.
the top of the ball, yeah.
Just misjudged it.
Samuels did well.
And here's Riley, puts it toward the far post, and it just skips past Gilstrap.
Wow.
Yeah,
nice attempt there from Sean Riley.
Yeah, Sean Riley did well. Bent that in there. Sonny Samuels did well to get away from Hollingsworth here. And then,
boy, he puts a good bend on this ball. That
really
comes
does,
a
man. I thought that almost caught the far post.
Looked like he fooled Mike Green a little bit there, stopped him in his tracks.
Yep. Hounds really got to start pressing now. I mean,
yeah, we have no choice.
Approaching the 86th minute.
Just a couple minutes to go for the Riverhounds. Trying to get a score on the board against the defending champion Rochester Rhinos here at Highmark Stadium.
Oh.
We're going to get a foul.
He looked out a little bit there. I thought it wasn't really that bad, but Riverhounds.
Let's take it.
And this referee's holding up the game again. And
Kevin, I mean, I thought it was a pretty alert play from Kevin Kerr to play that quickly and get it going.
Would you expect that? Anything else from Kevin Kerr?
No.
Trying to force the issue.
Yellow card.
So yellow to Tosh. And Kerr will take the free one. Slides it over to Hollingsworth. Now Parks with a little bit of space.
Poor giveaway. Kerr.
Tries to get it to Green, but Kerr cleans it up. Play it into the box. Here's Okai, puts a head on it.
And the referee.
And no call. Oh, there is a call.
It's called a corner kick. It's a corner for the Riverhounds.
And Parks will take it. So you see his purpose in the game now.
Everybody up.
And now he's going to leave it to Kevin Kerr instead.
It's an opportunity here for the Hounds. We need somebody to get on the end of this cross.
Everybody in a box.
There's Kevin Kerr, puts it in.
Mike Green.
There's Mike Green, fires it.
I was about to say Mike Green was available for the knockdown and came out to him.
So just a little bit left of the net. Mike Green with a powerful try from about 25 yards out. A lot of bodies in front of him.
Yeah, he was just, it didn't really get a good connect on it, came over on it too much, and it took off to the left-hand side, or to the right-hand side of the post, his left-hand side. But Rochester kind of, again, slowing it down as slow as they can get it, because obviously with only, 3 minutes left in regulation, I don't see much extra time, maybe a minute or two at the most. There's not really been any stoppages.
No. Looks like Bob Lilly's going to make another change.
He will do, to just waste another minute or so.
Yeah. But they've done a pretty good job the last 10 minutes or so trying to kill the game off.
Yeah.
You can see some of the Hounds urging it a little bit quicker.
Gilstrap puts it up. And Stephen Okai comes away with it. Gives it to Kerr, and he's pushed down by Tosh.
No call.
No call, though. Kerr might have been trying to sell it a little bit. Gilstrap way out of goal. And just boots that up toward here. Paul, you should have dove for that one.
I was going to hit that one, but the window.
Can't exactly dive through a window.
No.
Here's Hollingsworth.
Oh.
And a tough collision, teammate on teammate. for the
I'm
Rhinos.
surprised he didn't give a free kick against him after pushing the Rochester player into the other Rochester player, but he got away with that one. You can see a bit of urgency now with the Hounds.
Really
They're trying to force something and make something happen.
Is this a case where this maybe should have happened a bit sooner for the Hounds? Sure, they were trying to get good offensive possessions, but you guys kept telling me, hey, they got to get things going here.
Yeah,
and
sure.
finally, with a couple minutes to go in regulation, they're doing that. But it seems like it might be a little bit too little, too late for the Hounds.
And it looks like
I think they didn't want to get caught because they were worried about maybe a counter.
Right.
But now they have no choice but to really risk both.
we're getting a substitution in here for Green.
Branson's coming in for Mike Green, so another attacking player.
Yeah.
So Connor Branson enters.
Hopefully he can get one touch on the ball and it goes in the back of the net.
Got everybody up except Hollingsworth. Kevin Kerr on the ball, so his delivery will be important.
Kevin Kerr will take the free one. Referee trying to get everybody straightened out. About 40 seconds left in regulation. Here's Kerr's kick.
Ball.
It hits Herzog, and then Campbell tries again, but that one gets deflected.
It keeps it in.
Saved by Parks.
And blocked.
Stopped again. Harley with it.
Oh,
Harley again. Now Parks gets it away.
Great
Into
cross.
fire.
Well done.
Headed out by the Rhinos. Parks with it again.
Yeah, well done by Apostolopoulos.
Oh, that's a push over the back. It's a free kick. Here's another opportunity. I see Kerr bending this one into the near post, and somebody just getting a flick on would really be good.
We crossed the 90-minute mark, and here's Alex Harley toward the net. Stopped on a diving try from the Rhinos. Hollingsworth tries to chase it down. Gilstrap way out of net, puts it in. Rhinos headed out again.
Now we're in trouble. No.
Here's Volesky with it. He'll try to take it to the corner.
Parks and Okai chase him down.
But he loses it. And as we see another substitution.
2 minutes extra time. That's what it looks like here.
Jordan Beecher, I believe, is coming on.
Rochester substitution, number 23, Jordan Becker, in for number 2, Marcos Duarte.
So Duarte has had a really strong game, I think, especially in the first half. He was really
tearing up
causing
that left wing.
the Hounds some problems.
This one goes off touch, and the Hounds will get another throw in. Herzog in a hurry to get it in. He does, but this one coming back the other way. Hounds will retain.
2 minutes is it's just called, but I saw the fourth official put that time up, and we got to get going if we're going to get a shot off at least.
Hollingsworth trying to reverse it. There's Campbell.
He's going to serve it.
Puts it up. Russell trying to get in on it. Can't quite get there.
Good challenge there.
Yeah, good challenge.
That's Willie Hunt. And Hounds will retain. Drew Russell will take the throw in from the far side. Russell puts it in. No Hounds are home.
Romeo Parks, I don't know why he's staying way back here. He's push him up. He's a big target. He's a good 6'3". I mean, get him in the box.
Yeah, it's somebody to hit and knock it on or flick it on and create some opportunities, but time running out here for the Hounds, and Rochester doing a good job of it. Not going to rush to pick this ball up.
This one should be ending any second now.
Yeah.
See, once again, in no rush to get this in. This one played into the midfield. Fight for it. Herzog was there. Parks now. This might be the last rush for the Hounds. Parks mishandles it. And this one cleared out.
Yeah, I have 2 minutes on my watch, so it's pretty close.
Bubbly is yelling at him.
Yeah, it is.
And there it is. So there's your final score. The defending champion Rochester Rhinos come into Pittsburgh and take one away from the Riverhounds. So guys, the Rhinos come in and they show right away why they had one of the stingiest defenses in the league last year. Only surrendered one match all year long. 17-1-10 they were last season. They come in